lecturing it, then I would get on them.
So you have people imitating your work?
Oh, yeah.
But tell me that that's the case. So.
Oh yeah. Well, see, I give a workshop in pardon. I give a workshop at Aspen. I have from the very beginning of the school, and there was one fellow that I made patterns and all, and he wanted a photograph with me and my wife. We did, and then I gave him drawings and patterns. The next thing I know, he is teaching a class and making my chairs and selling them. And he advertised heavy, and I could have written and said, you know, but I thought, I don't want to get into that stuff.
So how do you react to people when you just said that sometimes you see a piece that is a Sam Maloof knockoff? How do you react to that?
Well, one time I said something to somebody that was in my class, and about 2 years later he was selling them in a shop in Aspen, and he said, "You copied me." What can you say?
But you said, for example, you've seen most of these pieces that...
They don't. They'll say a la Sam Maloof and all, but they're not mine. I can tell right off the bat. And but I sometimes get angry. I've had people, somebody sent me a postcard and they photographed it on a piece of plastic lawn, and I knew it wasn't mine the moment I saw it. And they sent it to me asking if I would verify it. And then they showed me where somebody tried to sign it, but I couldn't even read it. And I said, "Oh no, this isn't my chair." They said, "Well, we bought it as your chair and it's signed." I said, "It is not my signature." And so I sent them a little thing. And then 2 days later, I got another one, the same photograph, and all of a sudden it was someone selling them as my pieces. And there's nothing you can do about it.
Let me ask you an earlier question. Why do you live in California as opposed to Texas?
Well, I was born here. I was born here and I love it. And I'm only 14 miles away from where I was born.
What do you love about it?
Just the weather, the people. It's where I was born and where my friends are. But I've been all over the world and I've still not ever said I'd like to live here. I can't wait to get home, and especially up here. The last 60 years of my life, I've lived up here. I used to live down where the freeway is, and I had a beautiful citrus grove, and it was different in this atmosphere. Up here we're at 2,500 feet, but if my wife hadn't liked it and wanted to move, I'd have moved, because she was everything in the world to me, and I would have done anything she wanted me to do, but she loved it here and all.
Do you ever ask yourself why furniture?
Well, it was a necessity. We didn't have any when we got married. I was a commercial artist, and you can't sleep on a piece of paper, and I started making furniture, and people liked it. And this is when I was right out of the Army, and I lived across the street from Chenard's art school, which was the finest art school in the area, or anywhere around. And I had a friend who taught, and she saw furniture I made for the apartment. I just threw everything out. I went to night school, and she said, "Sammy, you ought to make this. People would buy it." And that's for the bug. And so then when I went to work for Millard, I made furniture for the house that Frida and I lived in, and it was photographed, and it took off like crazy. And I had one furniture company offer me $35 million, and Frida said he isn't interested. And when I got home, she told me about it, and I said, "What'd you say?" And I said, "You wouldn't be interested." And I said, "Well, you did the right thing, but I'll call him in the morning." And no, I didn't. I went to a meeting, and this man was the president of their company, and or chairman of the board of their company, And Mr. Cheney was his name. And he come up and he said, "Sam, why did you turn us down?" And I said, "Don't know what you're talking about." He said, it was Morgenthau something or the other, and he was the president. And I said, "Oh yes, Frida told me about it." And she answered right. I said, if I'd done it, it would have been the end of my career. I wouldn't have, it would have killed me.
Why?
All that money and doing nothing, you know.
Why not mass manufacture your...
No, I didn't want to. I didn't want to. It would have killed me. Paul McCobb, I didn't know him well, but he was doing work when I was, and he designed a whole line and became an instant millionaire. 5 years later, he was dead. This way I get to meet people. The other way I wouldn't. It sounds crazy, but I'm doing what I love to do, doing it at my pace. I get to meet a lot of people. I get to do whatever I want. I can go wherever I want, whenever I want. And it's been a good life. My wife used to say to me, "God's been very good to us." And she was very right, except I lost her. Oh. I cut this part out here, and this is flat. Then I glued this onto that, and I made a piece that's about 4 inches wide. And I could do it out of one solid piece, but I'd waste a lot of wood.
So who is this chair? Who is this chair for?
Oh, this chair, I forget who it goes to, but
what is this chair made out of? What type of wood is this?
But I have a client that I've done 2 big houses for, and I'm not going to say who it is because I don't want it on television, but he's very, very nice, and I've done a lot of work for him. The chairs out there are his, and all. And then the other 4 that I had, I knew that they wouldn't fit on the table, but he wanted 14. And so John Morris, who owns San Diego Padres, those are his right there up on the table. But I've done his whole house, and he called from nothing. He said, "Sam," he said, "do you have anything laying around that I could buy right away?" And I said, "I have 4 chairs." And so he won't have to wait for his.
Show me your tools again. That's a fascinating.
Well, I keep a lot of them in here. I keep a lot of stuff in here. All of my like right here, my routers. I have 3 new ones there that I have to put in there. And then a company by the name of...
Do woodworkers get sponsorship like...
oh, no.
Does Craftsman sponsor you?
No.
You can wear a Craftsman t-shirt when you work?
Festool sent me one of everything they make, and I never bought one, but and they don't use my name, but a lot of people give me tools for, well, like those little router tables over there, clear at the end. A company gave me 2 of them, and Festool gave me.
Show me this. What is this right here? This
Which is that?
Magnificent organization.
Well, it isn't very magnificent when you see a lot of them, but these are all. This little tool here I use now. You can't buy them anymore because they quit making them, but this is a wonderful little tool here. It made my Nicholson file, and they don't make them anymore. They make the 48 and 49, and I think, let's see where, I think this is, they make this one here at 49, and then they make the 50, which is a little finer. And but what I do to sharpen them, I'll put them in a pan of muriatic acid, and it eats all the wood away and sharpens them.
Show me the 2 that you said you use.
Oh, these right here. What do I do with them?
I think you put them over here. Let me just. Yeah. Actually, just.
These 2 here, and I bought these the first time they came on the market, and but they're very sharp. They're very sharp, and I cut the handle off of that one so that when I used it, I could really feel it and all. But these. You see how much wood I've taken off just in no time at all. And then with this, and I get in to the little parts like this. I get into little parts like this with it, and then here, on this and here, I can take and do these just in there like that. But it works very, very well. Then I use grinders. I use whatever will do the job for me and all. But it's a lot of fun.
Tell me a little bit about what you got back there. Looks like there's a whole bunch of chairs that are sort of in there, in the state of being worked on.
Well, all of these chairs are, I don't make a thing unless it's sold. And all of these are sold. I've shaped this, this is rough shaped. As soon as these are finished, that one, these all have to be shaped in here. As soon as this is done and the front is done, then I go ahead and put the spindles in the back on. And this one needs front legs. This is one I made many years ago, and it fell off of a truck. They were getting a divorce, and I don't think the husband tied it on very well for his wife, and it fell off and broke. And I told her, I've had this for 25 years, and I'm just repairing it. But she moved away, and she thought I was going to do it for nothing, and I said, well, I can't. I said, it'd take me longer than if I made it new. And the gist of it all was that she gave it to me. Then this chair here is going to be a nice one. This will be very, very delicate, and but it has a long ways to go. But this is a wood chair that I made for my wife. And then here, what I'm doing here, I could make the rockers out of a solid piece of wood, but I'd have to find a piece of wood that had the grain running that way. Well, here, see, this is the way this goes on here like that. And these are laminated. You can see how they're laminated. And I put a piece of ebony to stand out. And then this will be run over the planer. And then, or the joiner, then the planer. And then I'll cut it here, cut it here, cut it here, and cut it there. Drill the hole, and put them on the rockers. And this you can't break. I mean, this, you know, you could stand on it. It doesn't give a bit.
Fantastic.
So, you know, I haven't ever had a lesson in woodworking, ever. And you learn by doing. That's the best way. Then I have a lot of clamps. I have more clamps I know what to do with. But this chair, this chair, this chair, and that chair went on an order, but it was too many, so these go to somebody else. So it won't have very long to wait. And then this chair here will be the same chair, and then I have to put the legs on. And I can do those. I can have this chair finished and put together in a day.
So now, what is it? Tell me about some of these lines and what you've tried to achieve here with some of these lines. Well, you've got this real elegance here. You've got these curves that.
Well, this curve. This will stay a curve. This will stay a curve. This will be a hard line here. See, that'll be a hard line, and then this will be a hard line into the chair arm. And a lot of times I don't know what I'm going to do till I actually start doing it.
Okay, that's great. I mean, this is just such the raw, fascinating. Go ahead, tell.
Well, this is going to be a cradle. Well, this big table here is going to be a drop leaf, and this is the way it's going to work, like so. this table here. We'll do that. And then this is my frame for my ribs. For my, let's see here. And these are laminated, 5 laminates, and they go in here like so. They go in here like so, and then the male one goes in here like that. And then I put a piece of cardboard, for corrugated cardboard in here to fill the void and clamp it here, 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 and there. And that's the way I get. That's the way I get one of these ribs, like so.
And what is that rib used for?
The cradle. See, this is the cradle here. These go in here like that. They fit in that tight. And there'll be one of these in each one of these. And then these pieces here. These pieces will be the top, like so, see? That's the bottom, and these pieces go in here like that. And I have orders for 3 of them, and I'll get around to it. I jump from one thing to the other, so I'm never working on the same piece. And then over here,
Hold on, what?
I've done this for a long, long time. Yeah. But I get, I don't know what I get for those, to tell you the truth. I keep changing all the time. I think these are 35,000 here. And,
35 what?
1,000.
$35,000 for this? Wow. So tell me about this chair. What is it about this? I mean, again, you have such a. There's just such an incredible smoothness and organic feel to what you've got here.
I do that on the bandsaw.
You do that on the bandsaw.
That's how I cut my finger off.
How?
But I take all this, I round this off all on the bandsaw, and then it's rough. And then they sand it before they put it on. These I do all on the bandsaw. I'd show you how to do it, but I don't want to hurt my.
I mean, that's just really beautiful. Then what happens with this piece after? What state is it in right now?
Well, after it's all finished sanded, then I put the rockers on, and then I go ahead and shape those in, and then it's sanded, and that's it.
Okay.
You cut the seat in a bandsaw?
Yeah.
You cut the seat?
Yeah. I drill the holes for the dowels, and then before I put it together, I'll freehand cut it on the bandsaw. Yeah.
I don't see any nails or screws.
No. And then I use screws, and a lot of times people say you're not a purist, but here, see how thin this is? There's a screw that goes straight in, one this way and one that way, and I'll dare anybody to try to get it out. A dowel can break, it does all kinds of things, but in here, there's a 4-inch screw that goes way back into here. And the other day, I was daydreaming and I went through, and the screw came out here. And I tried to get it out. The only way I did, I cut it off. Then I took a plug cutter that was just a 1/4-inch diameter, went in, and then I could go ahead and get the screw out. And then I put a plug in, and just as strong as it ever was.
Who's that back there? Who's that picture?
Well, that's my son. He was a hippie, and he was about 18 when I took that. And then this was my nephew. He was about 17, and Paul was 18. And they all worked for me, and I got him started. Paul has his own shop now. Nassif is a very good carpenter. And my son lives on a ranch that I have and takes care of the grove, but he's a very good woodworker. But he has a beautiful shop. and all kinds of tools, but he just doesn't want to work in wood.
Could you show us some of your finished pieces and just talk about them a little bit? We can leave that stuff here. I'll come get
Have
it.
you been in this house? Let me just lock this over here. And here's Beverly. Beverly, you want to lock that, sweetheart?
Sure.
Come on in.
Well, isn't he taking your picture?
We're quitting for the day.
We're good. Yeah, we're.
I have to go to the bathroom anyway. Here, just a minute. Here's sweetheart.
You guys been having fun, huh?
Oh, it's been great.
Yeah.
It's been really terrific.
Okay,
Okay.
let's go down and, you didn't see the new building though, did you?
I think we did. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
What kind of wood is this right here? All different kinds. Is this discarded wood or?
No, this is English brown oak. Yeah, this is English brown oak. These are all, it isn't discarded, but I'll use it for something. It's walnut. This is all walnut. This is oak. This is going to be beautiful here. And these we're making cabinets for the new house and all. And come on, sweetheart. Bev?
I think she went out the other way.
Oh, just shut the door. I don't think I have the keys with me. Anyway. Beverly?
Go ahead.
Oh, you're doing it. When we moved here,
Eric, you gotta see this.
Good shot?
This frames him, yeah, it really frames him.
tell me when. Hey, Bev. I have a bad left knee. Platform out there that people could sit and eat. And
What a great place.
It's nice. Come on in.
All right, I'll follow you. Trying to get in the shot.
Look at the light right now.
Isn't it beautiful light though? You've been in here already.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's
No,
that staircase.
no, we're not, no.
Oh, I thought we saw this staircase.
No, this is another one.
Look at the pots.
This piece here I made for Beverly for this house.
Oh, it's beautiful.
And but this is the we thought it'd be nice to have. Well, I did because this was supposed to be the museum, and then Frida went away, and it wasn't finished. They hadn't even started, so I decided to live in the old house, or in this house, and keep the other one just exactly like she had it when she was alive. So this is Beverly's house here. Now Beverly.
Hi.
Look at this staircase. Did you make the staircase?
Yeah. Mhm. Well, what they did, I had a lot of trouble with them. The architect, I designed it and all, built a model, and the architect had a platform and then a stair that went here, a platform. This was all sealed off with plaster, and it took half the living room. And I said, well, I don't want it that way. I made a model and everything, and I don't think it's right. But the people that were building it, Caltran says, well, you have an architect, and that's the way it's going to be. So as soon as they turned it over to me, I tore it out and put this in. And
Did you build this yourself in your?
we did all the window trim, all the door trims. We built this. We built the big window there. We put in new doors there and there. And just walk through real quick here and then
Great.
go back here. And then in here,
I've got some water.
Beverly needed an office, and we didn't have room, so we brought those in from someplace else.
Uh-huh.
This gets all torn out, and there'll be, those will be, it'll still be closets, but they'll be solid rosewood. I mean, walnut. And this opens up. It's a queen-size bed. So when you have guests, they sleep here. And then this is the bathroom in here. After we got married, I decided that I would do this, and I built this in here. And this is our bedroom, and it faces the mountains there. And then Frida's buried right there on that little hill.
Oh goodness.
And I did that before I ever married Beverly, but I would have. That's where I wanted her, and so that's where she is, and I'll be buried there.
Are those your chairs as well?
Huh?
Are these your chairs?
Yeah, this one and that one are my chairs too. And but we're building cabinets now that go across there, and I'll put all my stuff there. And then this gets out to where it belongs in the other house, and there'll be one here and one over there, and those will be deeper for closets.
Wow.
And then in here, what we're doing is we're keeping this door here, but we're going to go beyond that, out that way, and this will be a great big walk-in closet for Beverly. And then take you through the bathroom here. But, and then upstairs, why don't you go take a...
Sure. I'd love to see some. I mean, this staircase is so phenomenal.
Go on upstairs.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, you gotta take a picture of him walking up that stairs.
What's your heart?
I don't know if the bed is still undone from our last company or not.
We won't look.
Okay.
And the love seat, yeah.
Yeah.
So you actually make the depression in the seat by bandsaw. That's really phenomenal.
Then I put it together,
Yeah.
and then David can take a satin and clean them out in about an hour.
Really?
San Diego, and she told me how big she wanted it, and she wrote it down, and it was 66 inches. And I said, well, I'll just make another one. And I'll keep this for myself. It fits in there nicely. And then on hers, though, I really did a real nice round on the end.
6 feet.
And he doesn't talk about price, but I don't I have one price for everybody. I don't care who it is. And if I had said the chairs are 100,000, he'd have paid for them. But I charged what I do everybody. But he's very, very nice, and he's on our advisory board.
Oh, he is.
And he's been very generous to us on the new building.
Okay, that's good.
You know,
Yeah.
and
That's terrific.
I think he's given us about 400,000 towards it, and then somebody else gave us $1 million, and so we're all right. We have to raise $2 million to work on, and I think Beverly will do that. And,
2 million more.
I just don't like I have a lot of friends that if I asked, I think would come across, but I don't like to ask for it. Somebody I didn't even know came to see it, and he loved it. And the next thing I know, we get a check for $250,000, and he said more was coming, and don't even know him.
Where are we now? Tell me where we are, and tell me a little bit about some of the.
Well, this is when we moved. The old house was declared a national. It was on the national list of historic houses, and it's one of 20 houses in the United States. And then I designed this one, and they started building this one, and I thought, well, I'll have this for the museum, and that we'll live in. But Frida went away, and I don't know. And then I married Beverly later, so this is Beverly's house, and that's Frida's house, and that's the museum, and this we're just keeping as is, and then the big new gallery up there. You saw it. I think it's quite beautiful myself, and I designed it.
Eric, do you want to sit here?
No, I just want to get some shots of some of the chairs and whatnot. I'll probably have to end up using some of the pictures and whatnot, but
I think this is the nicest set of chairs that I have. Those 4 pieces go together very nicely.
And the wood is,
This is about
yeah.
Did you go in the kitchen yet?
No, not yet.
There's some of his furniture's in there, really pretty dining room table.
Oh, good.
But I let Beverly do whatever she wants in here. How Beverly? Yeah? Did she leave?
Oh,
She's napping.
Boy, Beverly.
a lot of what I want to do.
Huh?
You let me do a lot.
Who makes the wooden bowls, the wooden,
Different friends of mine. Different friends of mine. And the boy that made, I think the one you're pointing out,
yeah,
was a lawyer in San Diego.
really, he made them himself.
And then he liked it so much that he quit being a lawyer.
Okay.
This one is made by
Well, it was early.
the Maloof family.
Yeah. That
And
was,
the father was the beginner, the grandfather was Sam Maloof, and he's out.
and that red is red. I mean, it's in the wood.
How does he do the inside? I mean,
The same way. I mean, they're just perfect. And